Hey, welcome back to SourceFed. I'm Steve Zaragoza.
And I'm Bree Esrig. And this episode is brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Click it or ticket, baby.
Stop what you're doing. It's not as important as what I'm about to pour gently into your ear mouth. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is launching a YouTube channel. Mic drop.
The Rock made the announcement on Instagram today with a short teaser and the following info. Hashtag new fronts exclusive. Here comes the best, biggest, badass, baldest YouTube channel ever. Okay, maybe not bald because a bald YouTube channel is weird, but our $7 Digital Studios is shaping up to be awesome. We and our partners at Studio 71 US have some very cool content coming your way. Expanding at $7 Production into the digital space is a passion of ours, and we're fired up to create a platform for the immensely talented digital filmmakers around the world and also curate content that's entertaining, provocative, and funny AF, as we say in the streets, this summer.
Johnson himself will appear in many of the videos featured on the channel coming this summer and will showcase talent from up-and-coming filmmakers that have action-packed scripts. Perfect! I have 73 action-packed scripts ready to go. There's even a quadrilogy in there that I'm calling the Pangea Saga. It's all about an alternate history of our planet where the supercontinent Pangea never separated. Think about it! And 4 heroes must survive this dangerous wasteland ruled by a frightening dictator overlord named Adolf Hitler.
You lost me at Adolf Hitler.
Okay, well don't worry, I'll get you back with Horridge Washingtits, the badass leading lady warrior. Dwayne, hit me up, bro. There's a part in it for you too, baby.
What's his ridiculous character name?
Kevin.
Kevin.
Bad news for Austinites who use Uber or Lyft on the reg. On Monday, they halted their services after losing a legislative fight over how they screen their drivers.
Austin City Council voted in 2015 to require that the companies subject their drivers to fingerprint background checks, which could potentially turn up criminal records. The regulation, though, was fiercely opposed by the industry as unnecessary and less effective than its own system.
Though ending the service also meant that around 10,000 Uber and Lyft drivers would be out of a job. Uber spokeswoman Taylor Patterson said of the move, "Folks are devastated. People are saying, I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent."
California-based Uber and Lyft responded by underwriting a nearly $9 million campaign against the Texas ordinance, which according to the New York Times culminated with an up or down vote by Austin residents on Saturday, with nearly 56% voting to preserve the measure, which would include requirements for identifying vehicles and other data reporting.
Now, Lyft said in a statement, "Unfortunately, the rules passed by the city council don't allow true ride sharing to operate. Instead, they make it harder for part-time drivers, the heart of Lyft's peer-to-peer model, to get on the road and harder for passengers to get a ride."
Though law enforcement officials argued that fingerprint checks, which are required of Austin's taxi drivers, are the best way to establish driver identity and weed out people with criminal records.
But Uber says its own checks, which are provided by a third-party provider called Checker, include court records and other unspecified biographical information and are more effective than fingerprint checks.
David Butts, a political consultant in Austin, said, David Butts, a political... Stop it! David Butts, a political consultant in Austin said, "We're a progressive city. We happen to believe that government has a role to play, and the idea that we're just going to give them a blank check and say, self-regulate and we'll take your word for it, was not acceptable to the majority of voters in the city. With a name like David Butts, I bet your ass you're progressive." Yeah.
You bet your ass.
You bet your ass.
You bet your ass Butts knows what he's talking about. I'd go cheek to cheek with Butts. Did you hear that Butts got spanked in the election? Yeah, he got really wiped out. Hopefully he's not on crack. Take a seat, Butts. Well, it sounds like things are getting messy with Uber and Lyft in Austin. Let's hope they figure out a way to make this all work so everyone's happy and people have jobs back.
According to Consumer Picks 2016, Cheesecake Factory was ranked #1 as America's favorite casual dining restaurant. Could it be because they have more than 180 locations? Or perhaps the 250 items on the menu? No. It's 100% because of that brown bread, though.
Hell yeah, that brown bread with some of that melty butter. Ooh, mama, take me there now.
I like to rub that cold butter between my hands while it's still in the packet, of course. Just to get her nice and warm for that brown bread.
Ooh, I love that brown bread so much. Give me my guitar, I want to sing about it. Oh, brown bread, give me some of that brown bread. We don't want your boring white bread. Give us that tasty honey wheat instead.
Brown bread, I want it all drippy with the butter spread. Brown bread, shove it down our throats until we're dead.
God damn, I love that brown bread.
Wow, I just ranked this segment as #1 in the best stories we've ever covered category. Great work, fam.
Oh, by the way, we're not sponsored by Cheesecake Factory at all. We just love that damn brown bread.
Emma Thompson, star of stage and screen, star of My Heart is Nanny McPhee, recently slammed social media stars for getting cast in projects solely for their followings instead of for their talent.
The comments were made during a reception for British Academy Award members. She noted, "We're casting actors who have big followings so the studios can use their followings to sell their movie. The actors are becoming attached in a sort of business way to their social media profiles, and I think that's a disaster.
On the one hand, I completely agree with Emma because it's absolutely true. Real talk, I've been cast in several projects due to my following and only a few projects for nailing the audition. Fun fact, I became a host at SourceFed because Darren, our producer at the time, found me on Instagram. I did have to come in and do a few test stories, but I'm pretty sure my pre-existing internet presence didn't hurt. That said, I've also put so much time and money into acting and improv classes over the years, whereas many young social media stars have no respect or patience for the craft and just want to be famous.
Now, I have no problem with studios casting social media stars because of their followings. To play devil's advocate, we can all name plenty of terrible actors who have been in major motion pictures for all kinds of reasons, like sleeping with a producer, being a Hollywood train wreck, nepotism, they're a friend of a friend, etc. So while Thompson's statements aren't wrong, I wouldn't necessarily consider this a disaster. It's just the way things work in the industry.
Touché, queen. Now we want to hear from you. What do you think about The Rock's YouTube channel?
And my awesome Pangea Saga idea?
Not good. Also, what will happen with Uber and Lyft in Austin? And what do you think about Emma Thompson's statements about social media stars? Let us know.
And don't forget, from May 23rd to June 5th, state and local law enforcement agencies across the nation are stepping up enforcement to crack down on motorists who aren't wearing their seatbelts.
The national seatbelt use rate is at 87%, which is good, but we can definitely do better. The other 13%, an estimated 27.5 million people, still need to be reminded that seatbelts save lives.
Click It or Ticket isn't about the citations, it's about saving lives. In 2014, there were 9,385 unbuckled passenger vehicle occupants killed in crashes in the United States. To help prevent crash fatalities, we need to step up enforcement and crack down on those who don't wear their seatbelts. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Steve Zaragoza.
And I'm Boy Estrig.
Welcome back to People Be Like. I'm your host, William Haynes. Are superhero movies still good? When I was a kid, they
Temporarily rename its beer to America. Yes, as in, this America's for you. Give me some of that brown bread. We don't want none of your